welcome to a new vlog and video of the cruise vibes, and today we're gonna take a look at the first day on board of the Queen Anne of Cunard, the ship that I showed to you in my last video. We are starting our cruise in Hamburg and we are now heading out to the North Sea, and then we have one day at sea before reaching Southampton on day 3. But the second and third day we will see in the next video. We're starting here in Hamburg, where I arrived with a long distance train, and now I'm heading to the Cap San Diego, which is the biggest general cargo ship, which is now a museum ship but can still sail in the world. And we are staying on this ship overnight, as she is the perfect hotel to stay at in style before going on a cruise. The Cap San Diego is mainly used as a museum, but there are several days in the year where she's actually still sailing. But if she's not sailing, you can book one of her cabins as a hotel, and that's what I did. Here we have my single cabin, which is pretty spacious and well equipped with a nice bed, comfortable couch, big table, nice TV, even with air conditioning. Of course, 2 nice windows with a view over Hamburg. Of course, everything in a traditional style. She's kept in her original style. Also, the bathroom is a bit more traditional, as you would expect from an old ship, but everything is available and looking nice, and it's in a very good condition. She's located in the city center of Hamburg, so it's a perfect location. I enjoyed my cabin for a while, and now it's time to leave the ship again, and now I'm heading for my favorite restaurant. Therefore, I'm just going to the Baumwoll station of the Hamburger Hochbahn, the underground of Hamburg, and I'm going to Sternschanze, and here is the restaurant Bullerei, owned by the famous German chef Tim Melzer. Big fan of Tim Melzer, so of course I'm visiting his restaurant as often as possible, and I opted for the surprise menu, which was very nice and reasonably priced. As you can see, food quality is amazing and I really love the vibe of the restaurant, so if you're in Hamburg, make sure to check out the Bullerei. I'm now heading back to the station Sternschanze, taking the underground to Baumwoll, and from there it's just a walk of about 3 or 4 minutes until I'm back at my Cap San Diego. Here we can see the so-called Feuerschiff, a lighthouse ship, which is also a restaurant and hotel. And I had a cruise a couple of weeks later from Hamburg again, and there I stayed on the Feuerschiff, so we will see that in an upcoming videos in a couple of weeks. Here we can see the fantastic view from the deck of the Cap San Diego, the famous Elbphilharmonie, and then it was time to sleep. And on the next morning I woke up with a very nice breakfast on board. Here you can see the view from my cabin, but then it was unfortunately already time to say goodbye to my cabin. Here we can see the view from the deck during the day. And now I have to leave this wonderful ship, but I will be back this year. I have booked a ticket for one of her sailings, so I will spend a day on board of the Cap San Diego sailing. So I think around end of the year there will be a video about sailing on the Cap San Diego as well. Here we can see this beautiful ship once again, and I now headed to the restaurant Alex, which is right opposite of the ship, where I had another cup of coffee and waited until it was time to head to the Landungsbrücken, where you can take the ferry line 73 to go to the Argentinienbrücke, which is close to the cruise terminal Steinwerder. This is the easiest way to get there, and of course the cheapest also. There is also a bus available. I will tell you a bit more about the bus on the next cruise series, because the ferry is not operating every day, it's only operating on weekdays. So this time the ferry was operating and I could take the ferry, which is the nicest, easiest and best way to get to the cruise terminal. The next cruise there was no possibility and I took the bus, and we'll tell you a bit more about the bus then. With the ferry I'm now going to Argentinienbrücke, which is about 15 minutes away from the cruise terminal. Of course, taking a ship to the cruise is the most stylish way to go to the terminal, and also the most interesting one, because you will see the most of the harbor. From Argentinienbrücke, as I said, you have to walk for about 15 minutes. It's not that far and it's a quite easy walk. And here we can see the Queen Anne, which I showed to you in my last video. Now, approaching the terminal and boarding, check-in and boarding took about 1 hour, so it was not the fastest boarding I ever had, but also I've experienced much slower boarding, so it was quite okay. And here I am getting on board of the brand new Queen Anne of Cunard line, a wonderful ship as you saw in my last video. And now we can take a look at my cabin on deck 11, an inside cabin. Bathroom, spacious, well equipped, and here you can see the cabin itself. It is not that big, it's actually a rather cozy cabin, but beautifully equipped, a nice interior, nice features. We will take a closer look at the features in a second. Here we have a proper desk with good lighting, a lot of storage space. We have, of course, a comfortable bed, as you can see here, and a big TV that you can fold out from the wall so it has a better angle. We have power sockets. It is a British ship, so we have British power sockets. Make sure to bring an adapter, and we have USB A and C power sockets at the bed as well. Nightstands, of course, are also available on both sides of the bed, and as I said, a very comfortable bed with nice bedding as well. Here we have the desk, which comes with a kettle, bottle of water, and of course also a minibar, which was also filled up. Of course it's not included, you need to pay for it, but you have possibility. And there's a bottle of sparkling wine, which was included as a greeting on board. We have the big desk area with a lot of information, nice postcard. Also we have a drawer with a hairdryer, so a very nice desk area. And here we have the wardrobe, here we have bathrobes, and here we have a lot of storage space, so it's enough for 2 passengers, and it's also enough if you're here on a longer cruise. For me, with a single occupancy and just staying for 2 nights, of course there was way more than enough space available. Also for me the cabin wasn't perfect, even though it's not the biggest one. For me that was more than enough. Very nice cabin. For the sail away I headed to my favorite location on board, the Commodore Club, and there we also heard the emergency signal after completing the mandatory safety drill digitally.
The general emergency alarm is about to be sounded for guest familiarization purposes only.
Then it was time for the first dinner on board in the Britannia restaurant. Here you can see how the food looks on board. As you can see, it is not fine dining. It is very good food on board and everything was tasting very nice. But just don't have too high expectations of the food on board of the Cunard ships. It is not a luxurious cruise lines. The cruises with the Cunard ships are not that expensive, so please don't have too high expectations of the food. The food is good, but it is not fine dining. It's comparable to any other regular cruise ship. Cunard is a bit more luxurious when it comes to the public areas, when it comes to drinks, for example. The drinks are a bit more fancy, but the food quality is comparable to other not too expensive cruise lines. After a nice evening in the Commodore Club, sailing on the River Elbe, I headed back into my cabin to open the bottle of sparkling wine that I was gifted by Cunard, so I enjoyed that before heading to bed. And that's it for the first day on board. In the next video we will see day 2 and day 3. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Here you can see when the next video will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and I hope to see you in my next video then.